Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I'm about ready to begin. It's time for our day after Thanksgiving Doctor Who special. It's kind of a new thing I've been doing, I guess, starting last year. That's right, let's get pumped, right? Hi, Brayden. Hi, Jason. Hi, Victor. So happy to have you here. Terry, wonderful to see you. Did it work? Wow, wonderful. All right, I think we're about to be able to end this music here in a second. It's just, Doctor Who music to get me excited to talk about it. Boop. Okay, we're going to stop that there. Okay. One day I'll be able to actually do it to where, like, I can, press a button on my computer or something and it can actually play music somehow. I know people can do stuff like that. Hi, Chris. Wonderful. Okay, so let's just take a moment here and let's just get ready for this stream. I found these really cool. Okay, I've lit some. I pray before my streams, right? And I light some Palo Santo ahead of time. I clear the space. And I actually found one of my sound tools that I bought a long time ago. So I thought maybe we would do this real quick and we would clear the energy for the stream, right? All right, so everyone just take a deep breath in on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's clear. Ooh, baby. There we go. So there we go. Some nice clear energy. All right, so I'm so excited. I decided to take a little bit of a break from my Blue Fairy Origins multi-part series that I've been doing. As you guys know, I've done up to part 3 now. I didn't even get to really finish part 3, but it's okay because it will roll right back into part 4. We can just go ahead and do that. So obviously Thanksgiving was yesterday. So I'm super, I had a really good Thanksgiving. I hope the rest of you guys did. I'm feeling super good still from it. Like I cooked all of my Thanksgiving meal. Again, this is the second year in a row that I've cooked. And I have to say, my turkey is just coming out so good. Like I'm honestly surprised myself because I grew up, and this is no offense to the people whose houses I was going to for Thanksgiving, but I was never a really big fan of turkey because it seemed like every time I ate it, it was always so dry that I don't know. I just like, I guess I just don't like turkey because it's just kind of, I don't know. It just doesn't seem bland. It seems bland. But I've been doing this. Okay, I've been doing this like recipe. We're using this butter herb rub where you actually put it between the skin and the meat of the turkey itself too. And I tell you, it's coming out at both times. It came out super moist, and all my sons loved it, and so it was really great. So I guess in that note, I would say for Thanksgiving, honestly, the thing I'm most thankful for is being able to share myself with all of you and all the people who follow me on Facebook and people who make me feel like they see me and like they resonate with me and they understand me. Like I'm just so happy for that I was able to break through these barriers and be able to show myself to you guys, and you're still here. Like thank you for that. Thank you guys. I really do truly hope that these streams help people on some level. I know they definitely be helping me, and I will tell you that it is teaching me, okay, first of all, doing streams really shows me telepathically, like how, I don't know, the level of my abilities, I guess, when it comes to telepathy, because there's weird things, and I've talked about this before, there's weird things that happen after a stream, okay? It kind of like opens you up to your own, first of all, your own inner self-critic. That can come at you, and that can start getting at you, right? But sometimes what happens is, I call it getting like reviews, okay? So the telepathic reviews come in, all right? And I know that I'm getting somewhat close to what I like, to perceiving it and hearing things correctly, because when certain things come in, I've just been going to the people and just asking them like, hey, is this your thought? Am I hearing this correctly, type of thing. And I've been getting confirmations that yes, indeed. So I have to say, I got some very interesting reviews last week telepathically from my stream. Most of it was really strongly positive, though. There were some really strong, energetic people who were watching it and then reporting back to me and being like, wow, like this is like your real self. And that's the other thing, we talked about Robert Johnston some. Okay. And I have to tell you, after my stream, I connected with him. And whenever someone who's passed away comes and connects with me, I've noticed now. Okay. I've noticed that whenever they come to talk to me, they always come over in this area. And honestly, what it feels like is it feels like a big circle energy ball, almost like, okay, like just a big circle energy ball. And like you can tap into it with your mind's eye and you can see like it's like an orb of some sort. Like these people are in the orb. And like for instance, with Clifford Mahooty, when he passed away, I remember I remember connecting with him, and he brought a whole scene with him. And we were like at this outdoor area that was like had like a river, or it was a lake by it, you know what I'm saying, and like trees all around it. And like the interesting thing I find about when I connect with people who have passed on is they usually come in and they always show me a picture of myself first, and it's how they're seeing me. Okay, they show me this, like they put me in their shoes for a minute, and they always tell me like, you shine so bright, like you look like a star. They literally show me like a star, like a picture of a star in the sky, like a zoom up on a star just blinking. And so Robert Johnson, he delivered this really beautiful message to me. He was very happy. Honestly, he was pleased. He did not know that I had thought all those things, that it meant that much, is basically what he was kind of saying to me. And it was really moving. And I was just really grateful that I came out and I said all I did. And, even parts of my stream where I was like worried, like, oh my God, did I go into too much here? And then, because I talked to Spirit about it. Okay. For days. All right. And so I was like, oh my God, did I say too much here? And Spirit was like, stop. They're like, no, look, like if you hadn't said this part would have lined up. Like it all lined up. And there wasn't not one bit of my stream last week that wasn't 100% my most authentic self. And I feel like that was visible because I had some of the most meaningful comments under that video come through that I've ever had. And I got like, I don't know how many new subscribers, but I actually did get like a decent uptick in my subscriber count even. So I'm doing something right. And I'm just going to keep going and just going to keep doing it. Hi, Geraldine. Nice to see you in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're just going to keep doing it. Okay. And okay, I only think I have one other thing to talk about. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the Doctor Who special portion of this, because I absolutely love this episode and I'm kind of excited to talk about it. Okay, so the last thing that I really wanted to get into, that I thought this was crazy. Okay, so here's the High Priestess energy coming through again with this one. Okay, because I don't quite know exactly sometimes how this always works. Okay, but okay, so there was this meme. Okay, it was a crazy meme. I should pull it up and read it, but it was on the bottom of it. It made me laugh really hard. It basically said something along the lines of, if you think about your stepfather, he will come home, but you can't, like, not, I got to find the meme now. I'm going to have to find the meme. So anyway, when it said this, I thought to myself, yeah, that's right. If you think about something, like when you think about something you don't want, like sometimes it will happen. So I've been reading these posts in these DoorDash groups. Okay. And they were complaining about the fact that my ability to dash anytime I want, that DoorDash was taking that away. Okay. And all these people were arguing about it, and they were saying, no, it's only going to happen to a few groups. Other people were like, just get ready, it's coming, and here it is. Here's the meme. It said, if your stepdad comes home, you're fucked. And if you think about him, he'll come home. Okay. And like the title of it is like, have you ever tried microdosing? Have you ever tried mega dosing? And okay. So anyway, this meme made me laugh. And I thought to myself, I was talking to my mom and I was telling her about, they're saying they're taking the dash now away. Like that would totally screw me over if I had to schedule every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't always know what my schedule is going to be. So I was telling my mom, and then later on that night, I was thinking about it again. I was like, Cassandra, like, why are you pre-planning for this to happen? Like, you are literally going to make, like, this the whole meme right here. You think about it, like, what are you doing? and sure enough, the next morning, I go to start signing into my DoorDash and it won't let me sign in. It says I have to schedule now. And guess what? The schedules were so messed up that I couldn't even schedule for the next 6 days. Now I do this full time. That would really screw me over if I couldn't do DoorDash. Okay. So I did end up like trying Instacart and I called DoorDash and I complained and eventually it did get fixed. And I was like, wait a second. Okay. So if I kind of pulled this into my timeline, then I was like, then I just need to smooth it back over. And so I was just praying to God and I was like, this is going to be smoothed over. And sure enough, by that afternoon, I was able to start scheduling my dashes again and we're good to go. So, but it goes to say, okay, like, was that meme and my associated thoughts with that meme, was that the inspiration? Did I manifest that particular situation happening? Or was it that meme was like a psychic tip off? Okay, and then because what that meme I associated with and thinking about the DoorDash thing, was that just tipping me off and letting me know, hey, there's going to be a small hiccup here and this is what's about to happen. High Priestess energy. I don't know. I don't really for sure know, but it makes me like, again, this is what makes me want to control my thoughts and control the things that I say. Because if I'm a conscious creator and that's what I'm doing is calling these things into existence, then I better make sure that I call in the things that I want, right? Okay, so I wasn't even for sure I was going to go live today. My friend Braden here, he's actually downstairs right now. He's visiting from out of town from Canada. So I was like, I don't know, am I gonna go live or not? And Spirit, I'm telling you, they are on some next level here with making me uncomfortable until the point where I am like, okay, it's time to go into this. They were like, we let you have all that time, those couple months where you just got to sit there and be in like a bliss state and happy and living in your own little world. Now it's time. Nope, you have to keep on schedule. We have plans. We are expanding our consciousness. We are going forward with the purge, all this stuff. And, and so you have to keep on track. And this is part of it. And they're like, get ready, get the promo ready. They got me. See, part of it is I'll be uncomfortable, but the second I start using that energy towards something creative, like the second I started making the promo for this stream, it flowed. It felt so good. And I was like, okay, so that's it. That's the discipline, the diligence that I asked for them to help me with and assist me with. It's like, now I'm getting it. Okay. They're guiding me and I'm following. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to read the chat real quick. I'm going to read some of the stuff in the chat. And then, okay, sorry, I'm just noticing some things. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start on Journey's End. Okay, I do have this little clip here in case I wanted to just be like, oh, whoop. Okay. Nice. Okay, hi there, Deborah. Okay. Don't forget. Okay, Terry's saying that he learned how to turn the phrase don't forget to into a positive. Remember to blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, not the don't part. You want to get rid of the don'ts, right? And the can'ts. I've heard that before when it comes to manifesting. Okay. Victor is saying it reminds me how in time travel stories, they travel back in time to want to try and prevent something happening, but it ends up being what caused the particular thing to happen in the first place. Exactly. That's why altering timelines and things of that nature is so, there's an art to it, there's an art to it. Like, that's why I don't, okay, see, because here's the thing, the law of assumption basically uses the fact that all options, all timelines exist. Okay, for every decision you make, there's another version of you that makes an opposite decision, and this is how you basically climb across and do whatever when it comes to timelines, right? Okay, so the law of assumption works on you pick. Okay, you pick what you want to see, and you focus your attentions and your mind's eye on that thing, and then you kind of pull yourself over that timeline. The problem I have with that is, okay, is that, and this goes back to the Course in Miracles teaching, is we don't perceive our own best interests. So yeah, could we, using the law of assumption, pull ourselves to a specific timeline with a specific thing that you want to see, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you probably could, but would that be your highest, most your timeline of highest love and joy? Would that be it? You know, like I don't feel like I am capable of knowing that for sure. And that's why I always give it to God. You know, when I ask for something, when I put out these requests, I put it out to God. Like, God, if it's in alignment with your will, if it would lead me to that eventual outcome of my timeline of highest love and joy, then yes, please grant this thing that I'm requesting. You know, but it's so I can't. That's why I don't like visualizing endings for things specifically. Like, I mean, I guess there's always exceptions to the rule, but and in my case, I find most often it's like if you have an ultimate feeling or experience that you want to have, that if you give that to God and you say, God, you know, work this out for me, and then He will guide you with your own thoughts. Like, okay, well, how about this? Guys, I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates. I really appreciate everyone who participates in the chat, especially. I just want to say thank you for that. It really does help me um, keep the ideals flowing. Okay. Okay, so let me go ahead. I need to grab a drink of my water because I can tell I have a little bit of dried off. I thought I brought my water over here. Oh man, I see it. I hate when I have to step off screen, guys. I'm sorry. I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. All right. So let's get into it. Doctor Who at Journey's End. Now, this was such an important episode in the whole arc of where David Tennant had left Rose Tyler, okay? And then they did a whole season where Donna came into the picture, okay? And this arc was about Donna and the wrap up of Bad Wolf and Rose Tyler and all the things that had happened with her, okay? So it begins the episode basically where the Doctor, the David Tennant version of the Doctor, is uniting with Rose Tyler. Now, where was Rose Tyler? Okay, who is she? She was the first companion that the Doctor ever had as Christopher Eccleston's, right? Like when they brought back the series, like she was the first companion of his. And so she was very special. People really, really loved Rose Tyler, but eventually it got to the point where there was a crisis on her world where ghosts were overrunning it, and in order to shut it down, the Doctor had taken Rose to a parallel universe where her dad was still alive. Okay, because see where they originated from, her dad had passed away when she was a baby, and so she never grew up with her dad, and her mom was always really sad about it because they really loved each other. And so the Doctor at this point had taken Rose Tyler to a universe where her dad was still alive. And in the course of doing this, there was a crisis there because see, that's the thing. That's kind of how the TARDIS works, is it is naturally drawn to places where in time and space where the Doctor is needed, his help is needed. It's just like I feel like it's a kind of a law of attraction type thing. He knows where to go. The TARDIS knows where to take him. Okay, and so they went to this universe where Rose's dad was still alive, and of course there was some catastrophe thing that was happening, and it had to do with all these ghosts. So in order to get rid of all of them, the Doctor and Donna, or the Doctor and Rose, had to push these levers both at the same time, and it created a barrier. It literally sealed Rose Tyler's, the world she was in with her dad being alive. It sealed her off in this other parallel universe, and the Doctor could not get to her anymore. But that was the sacrifice he had to make in order to save her. Okay, and it could have, I mean, honestly, it wasn't that bad of a deal considering now she had her mom and her dad in the same timeline, you know, and he didn't die. And so there was, you know, there was some benefits, but obviously when you travel with the Doctor, okay, it changes who you are as a human. It changes who you are, and, you know, and Rose could not get over that, right? So at this point, the leader of the Daleks, known as Davros, all right, he had started putting together this idea that he was going to come up with this thing called a reality bomb. Now, in order to create this reality bomb, he had to transport whole planets to this particular location, these 20 planets, okay? And Earth was one of them. In order to do this, all right, well, not in order to, because of this, it left an opening for Rose, who was still stuck in that parallel universe. It left an opening for her to come through and to find the Doctor because she had a message, because her in her world, all right, there's this team of, it's like police officers, kind of like their team called Unit, all right, that works with the Doctor and works with all paranormal, like weird stuff like that. And so she worked with her version of the Unit squad, and she managed to find her way back to be reunited with the Doctor. Okay. And so they're reunited, and when they're reunited, it just so happens that a Dalek is there and he shoots the Doctor. Okay. The Doctor and Rose and Donna, they all go into the TARDIS, and the Doctor basically is about to regenerate. Jack Harkness is there at this point too. And, they're kind of like, Rose is pretty upset because she's like, I just got here, and she'd already been through one regeneration of his. She's like, I just got here and now you're about to change again, And so what does he do? Well, he takes all that regeneration energy and he happens to channel it into a biomatching receptacle is what he called it. Okay. Because he happened to have a severed hand of his. Okay. Now, where did this, it was in a glass container on the TARDIS. All right. Now, where did this, yeah, hold on. Yes. So he had this severed hand of his. Let's see, it's got regeneration energy on it. That's why it's all sparkly. Let's see, it's sparkly. Okay. So he had this biomatching receptacle, his severed hand, in a container on his TARDIS that Jack Harkness had brought him, which Jack Harkness is a very intriguing character and went on to have his own series and spin-off called, if I can remember it, it'll come to me. But he had his own spin-off, which was actually really, really good. But he happened to be a man who could never die. Something happened to him. He was exposed to some type of radiation or something, and he was the man who could not die. Okay, eventually he ends up being the oldest living thing in the universe, and they call him the Face of Bo. He's like in many episodes, so his character is pretty important. So he said he had a Doctor detector, and that Doctor detector was the severed hand, and that is how he ended up being reunited with the Doctor and to bring him this severed hand. Now, where did the severed hand come from? The first day that David Tennant Doctor version existed. So after Chris Eccleston died as his version of the Doctor, and they transferred over to David Tennant. Well, David Tennant immediately started dealing with these beings called the Sekarek. Okay, these really nasty looking creatures, and they happen to be violating something called the Shadow Proclamation Act, which they bring up all the way up until the end of this episode. Okay, and he got into a sword fight with these Sekarek. Okay, and he ended up losing his hand. The hand fell off of the ship onto the ground. That's where Captain Jack Harkness ended up finding it. Okay. But because he was still in his early days of his regeneration, it grew back. All right. Torchwood. Yeah. That was Jack Harkness's own series, Torchwood. It was really good too. It got canceled after a while though. So I never had quite the spin of the Doctor series. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Okay. So his hand regrows, okay, because he's still in the stages of regeneration. So this came in perfect timing for this whole, it was like a get out of jail free card, right? It's a one and only time that the Doctor could choose to not regenerate, be killed, but not change faces. And the David Tennant version always wants to stay the same. Like that is one thing they even did it in the last season now where they brought Donna and him back together, right? Okay, but we'll talk about that again in a second. Okay, so like I said, Davros had been gathering these 20 planets. He transferred his energy into the biomatching receptacle, which was his severed hand. So, all right. So at that point, the hand is just full of regeneration energy, right? So Doctor and basically his companions, Donna, Jack Harkness, I think he got Martha, even Martha Jones up in there. And they went to discover, okay, what is going on here? Okay, because Davros has stolen these 20 planets and he's moved them to the Medusa Cascade. And what is he really trying to do? So obviously the TARDIS, he tells the TARDIS to go to the ship, Davros' ship, which is called the Crucible. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm just checking to see if I'm making sure I'm keeping up with all my notes. And so far, it looks like I'm doing a pretty good job. Okay, so while he's trapped in Davros' ship, all right, and they're kind of exploring, they get captured, right? But right as they're getting captured, Donna, as they're stepping off the TARDIS, right, Donna hears a heartbeat that no one else hears. And this has kind of been haunting her, honestly, through a couple of episode. So they were hinting that something very special was going to happen here. When she heard this heartbeat, she got distracted. She didn't step off the TARDIS, and the TARDIS doors shut and locked, because the TARDIS is a living entity all on its own. It has its own consciousness. So it locks Donna in, but it takes the rest of the companions away. All right, now the Daleks don't know Donna is in the TARDIS at that point, but honestly, they don't really care. If she's going to die when they destroy the TARDIS, they're like, that's just a bonus kill for us. Okay, so that's what they do. They take the TARDIS and they put it into the heart of the ship, the Crucible, okay, which happens to be run on a star. Okay, it's a star one ship, right? So it's burning, right, while Donna's in there. Okay, we're done with that one. Okay. Yeah. And as the TARDIS is burning, all right, this sets off a chain of events that is going to lead to the biological metacrisis. All right, Donna is drawn to the hand. She's drawn to the regeneration energy, is what it is. The regeneration of energy of the hand draws her in, and she reaches out for it. Okay, because think about it, a biological metacrisis. This is obviously a crisis. All of the people are going to die. He was literally, Davros was creating a reality bomb that's going to destroy the universe and all universes. Okay, that's what he was trying to do. All right, and Donna wanted to save her friends. There was like, there's got to be some deeply moving and motivating type of emotional energy going on there in order, I feel like, to trigger events such as this to happen. Okay. Because you know what else it reminded me of? Okay. This moment between the hand and Donna and creating the Metacrisis Doctor, it reminded me kind of also similar to the Fifth Element, the ending of the Fifth Element, and how she explodes, right? Like she finally is told what she needs to hear. She needed to feel inside like she was wanted and loved and needed, like she had a purpose. Okay. And this caused her to activate. Okay. Well, it feels like this was something similar. Okay, that Donna and the situation they were in caused this reaction, this magical reaction between her and the severed hand of the Doctor. Okay, basically what happened is the regeneration energy comes out of the hand and it envelops her. All right, the glass container breaks, and moments later, the hand grew a body, and a brand new Doctor was born, and this Doctor was the Metacrisis Doctor. Right, completely new Doctor. But the thing is that you got to remember, this Doctor that was created, the Metacrisis Doctor, was from the severed hand of the David Tennant version Doctor, the first day that he was the David Tennant version of himself. So all of the experiences and the growing that he did with Rose and with Donna, all those things that he had learned, those he did not have that experience yet, right? So I just want you to keep that in mind for now, all right? So the biological metacrisis happened, and it created a one-hearted Time Lord who now shares personality traits, Donna's personality traits. It mixed them, you know? This version of the Doctor is even more highly telepathic with Donna to a certain extent, even though she feels, it says basically, even though Donna is like this no nonsense type of character, like she comes in with this attitude, like, you know, like I know my worth, you know, I have confidence and all that stuff. Even though she puts on this no nonsense attitude, she does it in a way because she does secretly deep down feel like she's unworthy of having these experiences with the Doctor, unworthy of now having mixed with the Doctor and become part of him, like a little bit mixed with him. Because that's the thing. There is, even though she feels like why me? Kind of a thing, like why how did this happen to me? Okay, the Doctor reassures her and tells her that they were always headed to this. See, because there was a prophecy also, okay, that the Daleks, the cult of Skaro, it was called, there's like a faction of Daleks that actually got in touch with their humanity again, and they foretold this prophecy about how the Doctor was going to come and destroy all of them. Okay, so the Metacrisis Doctor basically reassures her, you know, that they were always headed to this, okay? And that was why the universe kept bringing them back together again and again and again. This was their fate. He says, but he doesn't know how things will end because some more information still was missing. All right? And so what was that missing piece of information that he didn't figure out? Because, again, like the whole point of them now trying to brainstorm is, how do we stop this crucible? How do we stop the Daleks from setting off the reality bomb and destroying everything. How do we do that? Okay, well, it turns out that part of the way that they end up doing that is getting that missing piece of the biological metacrisis, which was, it wasn't just a one-way biological metacrisis. It was a two-way biological metacrisis. And what that simply means is that when Donna activated, okay, maybe I should look up a little bit, right? When Donna activated the creation of the Metacrisis Doctor, she absorbed a little bit of him. All right, so now not only did he get a little bit of her personality, she got a little bit of his personality. And they vibed really well because of this, you know? Okay, so this means that now the doctor, the Metacrisis Doctor, is a Timelord Human. All right, and Donna becomes a Human Timelord. And this is what gives her the ability to take down Davro's ship. All right, she is able to now, since she can think and understand Time Lord technology and stuff, she is able to control the ship, you know, and she's able to just like shut everything down. All right, and get like, so now they got everything under their control, but how do they stop the reality bomb from going off? Okay, well, Donna is talking to the Metacrisis Doctor, and she basically says to him, like, don't worry, you know, the doctor will figure out some way to get us out of this, okay? But the Metacrisis Doctor, in a moment of madness, basically says, I am the doctor, and he decides, you know what? No, they're too powerful, and we're going to have to destroy all the Daleks, which is something that he's already done but as the Ninth Doctor, too. It seems like this is a recurring pattern for him, obviously. So he destroys all of the Daleks. Now, the Metacrisis Doctor did destroying, right? The regular Doctor, okay, he was not happy about this, though, because he had done all this growing. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to come up with another strategy, another ideal. But it was too late for that. All right, so the Daleks ended up being destroyed. The cult of Skaro, okay, the prophecy was fulfilled. All right, they move all the planets back. All right, okay, and now it is time to return Rose to her parallel universe, right? Okay, so because Rose went through all of this, and again, like I said, when you travel with the doctor, it changes you, right? And so she couldn't go back just to her normal life, and she let the doctor know that, you know. And so the solution that Donna and the doctor and the Metacrisis Doctor came up with was basically they will leave the Metacrisis Doctor in her universe, okay? And he was agreeing to this too, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't going to have endless regenerations. You know, now he was going to be a human, okay, because he only had one heart. Even though he was a Time Lord, he only had one heart and he had a finite life. All right, so he's like, now you guys can finish your story, basically. Now you guys can live out what you were always meant to before we got separated from the barrier that we had to put up between our universes. You know, and so not only that, they deleted a scene. I found this out later by doing some research. Not only did they leave the Metacrisis Doctor with Rose so that way she could cope with living without their life together in the past. He gave them a piece of the TARDIS so they could grow their own TARDIS, and he even told them how they could accelerate it so that way they could get back to living their time travels together as part of that universe. You know, but eventually, like now, they were going to have to reseal up the hole between their universes, and it happened to be in all places. Of all places, it had to be in Bad Wolf Bay, right? Which Bad Wolf was like the word, like they were dragging you, they were breadcrumbing you the whole way through that entire season with Rose and with Donna. Bad Wolf, Bad Wolf, Bad Wolf, Bad Wolf. Anytime you see David Tennant, Bad Wolf, what? You know, like, so this is where, and Bad Wolf Bay, this is where Rose Tyler gets to live out her happily ever after with the Metacrisis Doctor, and now Donna, the Doctor Donna, all right, and David Tennant Doctor, they're going to go back to traveling their missions. But there was a small problem with that, see, because he had to wipe Donna's memories of all of it, because supposedly she couldn't handle it. Like, she couldn't handle the Time Lord energy and consciousness inside her human vessel. So he said he had to wipe it all. But, you know, they changed that in the last season. Now, Donna gets her own version of the Doctor too. They brought them back together, and she got her memories back, and they went on and had some other great adventures. So now Rose Tyler got the Metacrisis Doctor. Donna got her version of the David Tennant Doctor, because David Tennant Doctor just loves to be multiplying himself and hanging out with his companions. It seems like what the show has created this as, which I'm not against it. I really enjoy it. I loved all of the little caveats that they throw in there when it comes to all the different ideas that they can come up with to how they can, keep the Doctor going, even though there was supposed to be like a finite number of regenerations even. You know what I'm saying? So that is the story of the Metacrisis Doctor, right? Journey's End, the Metacrisis Doctor. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to mention about it before we move on to our tarot card pull for the collective. So yeah, I love this episode for one because it reunites Rose Tyler and the Doctor. I mean, who didn't really want to see, like, it was so tragic. It was tragic the way they had split them off. And you know what it kind of reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of like a pocket dimension. It was like Rose and the Doctor, they got their own little pocket dimension that now they get to live in. But they actually still, they had a whole series of it. It's a comic book series that where they continue the journeys, and they continue talking about Rose Tyler and the Doctor, and the fact that the Doctor is now living a human life. So he takes on a human name, and his name was John Smith, or I think he also calls himself Corbin. I thought that was an interesting choice for. He doesn't look very much like Corbin to me, but okay, yeah. That was the other thing I was thinking about. Sorry, it just popped in my head. Names. Names like. Sometimes I wonder if we choose our names because we're part of that name collective. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I think really random weird things like this, and I'm like, what if that's the case? What if like other Cassandras are just another version of me? We're part of the Cassandra collective, right? Like, I don't know. That's just something funny to think about. But I don't want to be related to all Cassandras. Some of them, like, I don't know if I like that version of me. But yeah, there's not very many Cassandras out there. So, because who would really? Because that's the thing. Because the names mean something, And I feel like Cassandra is kind of a cursed name, right? Cassandra kind of comes along with the curse. Cassandra's kind of like, okay, what the prophetess, who the woman who would prophesize and not be believed until it happened, right? Like, right? That would be. Hi, Matthew. Hi, Matthew and Nora there. Yeah, that would be wild. That would be freaking crazy. But I wonder sometimes. I don't know. Because names have meaning. And they're important. And I know that. I don't know. So instinctually, I know I picked my name from birth. I know I told my mom what to name me. She was going to name me between two things, Crystal or Cassandra. And I'm so thankful she named me Cassandra. I mean, Crystal would have been nice too, but I feel like that had more to do with the fact she's psychic too, and so she was picking up on. In fact, I'm like a crystal child, I guess that's what people would call it. Okay, so hello, Barry. Nice to see you. Oh, don't even worry about it. Yeah, hold on a second. Let's see what he's saying here. We're getting ready to jump into the tarot part. I just finished up my Doctor Who at Journey's End summary, which I love that episode. Mm-hmm. It's hard to pick between which companion I really love the most. Well, obviously it's Clara. It's Clara that I love the most, but I do really love all the companions. What do I think about the Watcher? Recently discovered an appearance on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. I'm not sure I know what you're referring to, but I would definitely love to give you my opinion on it if I can figure out what it is. Oh, okay. Let's see what else. Here we go. Yes, exactly, Victor. It is. And, and there were many episodes actually where when he had to hide his identity, he would I remember there was one episode, it was really, really moving episode with Martha, okay, there's the one I don't like. I didn't really like Martha. I don't know. I mean, I guess she grew on me after a while, but I don't know. I didn't really like Martha that much. But there was an episode with her where they got hunted. They were getting hunted down by these aliens who like to devour Time Lord's energies and essence, and they're like vicious. And so he had to hide his energy by hiding his energy signature, and he put his energy signature into a watch, into a pocket watch. Okay, and then he ended up, the role that he ended up taking was that of a teacher in a boys' school. Okay, and Martha ended up being like a maid. She was like a servant worker there, and it was at the beginning of World War II, and it was really crazy cool episode, honestly, how these aliens came through and disguised themselves also as human, and how he had to eventually trap them. I forget how he did it. It was like scarecrows, you know what I'm saying? Like he put one of them into a scarecrow. Like he put one of them to punish them. Okay, like he put one into a scarecrow forever. He put another in a mirror. So that was like the lore was that sometimes if you see this girl holding a red balloon in the back of, like you're looking in the mirror, you see her behind you. That's the alien that wanted to kill the Time Lord, right? Yeah, love it. A lot of people like Donna. Yeah, Donna is good. I like Donna. Oh, I'm so glad I wasn't the only one felt that way. I don't know. Martha just seemed like, I don't know. I feel like she'd be like a female, I hate to say this about her, a female synth kind of. Like she was kind of a synth. Yeah. But yeah, I really did like Donna a lot. I liked her attitude. And obviously she was the one where the library. Anyone remember the library episode? Where that's where the doctor first meets River Song, his future wife. But he doesn't know that it's his future wife, right? But she knows because she's from the future, and she put a call out to him to help her with this particular case in the library. Only the younger version of him who didn't know her was the one that got the call and came. And eventually she sacrificed herself to keep him alive in that one. Anyone remember that episode? The Library of the Shadows. So, well, okay, I got to stop because I'll keep going into episodes, and I'll just save those for other streams. We'll go into the Library episode. God, that was so good. Where, they put everyone into a computer, their souls all into a computer to save them from the shadows. And at the end, they ended up getting them all back out. And Donna almost meets her soulmate, and then they rip him from her. Oh, God, you remember that? He was there. She was living in like a Matrix version because they uploaded her to the computer to keep her safe. And she found this man there, and he was at the library too, but they just missed each other. Oh, God, I love that. Okay. So, yes. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's get ready for some tarot. Because like I said, my friend is from out of town. He's downstairs, so I'm trying not to stay too long today. All right. Sorry, just got to move our hand, our sparkly regeneration full hand. Good stuff. The Curator. Which one is that? I feel like I remember the Curator. Hold on. Is that Star Trek, though? I'm feeling... Is that Star Trek? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, episodes with the silence are from my favorite. Man, Victor, you are totally vibing with me on this Doctor Who stuff. I am loving it. Yeah, the silence actually was my soul grade walk-in when it came to me. That's what it looked like a little bit, and it really creeped me out. And they said to me, like that's why they were only showing me themselves for a second, because they didn't want to scare me. And they were scary. You do need to watch Doctor Who, Chris. What is stopping you? What is stopping you? Don't you understand the I just love the way they tie it all together. It's the connections that they make, and you got to pay attention so you can figure out, oh man, this is from that episode, and then, oh man, this makes sense now. Oh, click, 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 click. The puzzle pieces get put into place, and you're just like, wow, the creators of the show are genius. And you just got to know they're pulling from something. They're pulling from something true. That's the thing. All of these ideals. That's why Star Trek, the next year. That's why these things vibe with people. That's why you resonate with them. If you're drawn to it, it's because there is truth behind these things. There's truth behind these stories. Yeah. Oh, Tom Baker. I gotta watch the Tom Baker versions. I'm so sorry. Yes. Yes. Oh man, I just watched that episode the other day. Actually, I just watched that. I know, man, that was such a good scene too. When they come together. Oh my gosh. And they're looking at the painting and a little bit of a time travel. Didn't he have the scarf on even at that point? Oh man. That was the episode where David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Tom Baker and John Hurt were all in, and Rose Tyler and Clara were all in the same episode together because they were stopping the Doctor's original mistake of destroying the Daleks. That was the original thing that he felt the most guilty about, was that he destroyed his own planet and all of the Daleks in order to end the Time Wars. And he was not, like, he beat himself up about it, and they found a way to fix that timeline. You know, that's what it's about. It's about finding a way to fix the timeline. Yes. Me too. I love it when they do the crossover cast. Me too. Yeah. Amazing. They ended up moving the planet, right? They moved the planet. And then here's the sad thing. So they moved the planet out of the way so the Daleks so he didn't have to destroy it. And then he couldn't find it. And then he couldn't find the planet, his home planet. He still longed for his home planet. And he even lied to Clara and told her, because it was like they were agreeing not to travel too much together anymore. And he said, oh yeah, I found it, because he didn't want her to be sad for him, thinking that he didn't have anywhere to be even, you know. And it took him a long time to find that planet again, his home. That's so sad. Okay, back into, Doctor Who. Love Doctor Who. Okay. Oh, hi, Sandy. Wonderful. You got 2 messages in your fortune cookies already? Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, you know what? I'm so glad you said that. Oh, my God. I forgot to pull the fortune cookie. I was getting ready to jump right into the cards, right? I'm just obsessively shuffling, as usual. Oh, I guess I can just pull out. Okay. Yeah. I hope they were really good messages. Oh my gosh, you created double blessings there, double abundance. That's wonderful. I love hearing stuff like that. Okay. Into my body here. Okay. Yes. Right, yeah, for the collective. Yep, line it up. Okay. What does the collective need to hear? I felt like I got it real quick. This one. First, we're going to take a peek. Does it have an actual fortune in it? Because I don't play around like that. Okay. We're getting a fortune. What does the collective need to hear the day after Thanksgiving? Okay. Later today, your dreams will take flight. Oh man, am I going flying again? I did actually remember my dream last night. Yeah, it had to do with some type of lobster. It was some weird lobster made of like pipe cleaners. I don't even know how, like, that's gonna present itself. You know, I think it already did a little bit from a Facebook video reel I was watching. But yeah, Brayden was in it and we were eating this lobster. Okay, so later today, your dreams will take flight. All right, guys. So if you have any desires to have flying dreams, you could always ask for that. I had a dream once where I actually was literally lifted up off the ground from the amount of joy I had in my heart from seeing these Dogon-like aliens that I had requested to see. And these 2 entities that I call the twins, which I honestly think are the consciousness from 2 crystal skulls that I was communicating with. They call themselves Casper and Maya. Like, it was quite a long time ago. I used to have frequent visits, honestly, from these twin characters that kind of reminded me of like Thing 1 and Thing 2 from Dr. Seuss. But I'd asked to see a Dogon warrior like alien, and they brought them to me when I was doing this meditation, and they even like dilated time and made time like it lasted longer. You know what I'm saying? It was longer in this meditation. I blinked, my eye was literally less than a minute, but in the meditation it was way longer than a minute. And I felt so overjoyed that they brought this person, this entity to me, you know. that my heart filled with joy, and the joy lifted me off the ground. It was like gravity. It literally just pushed me up off the ground. And so I know that, that one monk or priest or whatever that they say, the flying monk, right? The guy who could fly. Okay. I believe that's true. I believe he really could do that. And I think it was because he would get ignited by reading scripture. His heart would ignite. Yeah. I think that's a real possible thing. That's why, in Tinkerbell and stuff, like why you need the fairy dust and the happy thought in order to fly. Just get a little mad. All right, I see the comments. But now we're going to go ahead and switch over into tarot mode because I'm going to do tarot. Okay. Yes. Oh, wow. It's got a bright flash of red over here. So we are ready to, we're connected in. Okay. Yes, it's ready. It is ready. Oh, gotta cut it 3 times. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's ready. Okay. All right. For the collective. For next week's energies here. First card. Boom. We got the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this woman is deep in her creative process right now. Okay, this is an earth energy. So it's something that is going to take time to be fully created here, to come to full fruition. I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for, but to fullness. Okay, so she's really focused on something. It's like she's just got her sights set on that one thing, and she's making she's watching it, and she's watching it come to life. I feel like right before her eyes. It's like a meditative, contemplative process. It almost is like pondering the orb to me, I feel like. Okay, like she might be a fast thinker, but this is definitely someone who needs to take their time on whatever it is they're doing. Okay, she's got a regalness to her, because that's what that fur is like. Yes, she's a queen, but this is a particular type. You should look up the symbolism. There's a particular reason that this fur is chosen. Okay, I'm actually going to look it up after the stream to see what it could, the deeper meaning that it can mean behind that. Okay, she's flexible though. She's flexible in her mind. Okay. So yeah, if you are trying to create something, right? Like it's definitely saying that like you are needing to maintain a focus on something in your life that is stable and grounded. Let's pull the next card to see how I can play off of that one. Okay, with these energies. I feel really positive about this Queen of Pentacles energies though. I feel like it's time. This is the end of the year. It's like it's time to really focus on what it is that we want for this next year. Wrapping it all up. Okay, so whoop. Okay, next card. I explain more of the energies for the collective for this Queen of Pentacles. Oh, please. Oh, we got a Knight of Rods. So we got a mix of energies here. So we got this queen. She's focusing with intentions, okay, on creating something real in this world, even though it might take time for it to come fully to fruition. Like she's really good. It's a master manifester card. That's what I meant to say. The Queen of Pentacles is like a master manifester card. I feel like she's kind of associated with the world as well. Like that's the similar energies that I feel with the Queen of Pentacles, is that she's got kind of a worldly vibe to her. Okay, and what we got coming in, we also got a journey that we're taking. Okay, we got the Knight of Rods here. So this is about continuing our journey forward. Okay, and so So she's got a goal in mind, right? She's focusing on this. This person, whatever that goal is, this way, whatever that goal is, it's not even something that they have to attain. It's not about that end goal, right? For the Knight of Rods, okay? It's about that passion and that drive to chase that thing. Okay, he needs that carrot in front of him. He can go on forever in his creative process if he just has that carrot ahead of him. Okay, like it's very like a fire must burn. Okay, passion, action, going forward, pushing forward, and going after the thing that you want, the things that you want, the things you're attracted to. This is very much about following that thing that gets you that excited, right? So you want to continue to do that. Last card. What's the last part of the energies? Boop. Okay. So this is a Seven of Swords energy. Okay. And I definitely have feel like I really vibe with the energy of this card. I like understand it on a deeper level, because that's the thing, is that the Seven of Swords level, the Seven of Swords can be a sign of deception traditionally. Like it can be someone hiding something from you, but it doesn't always mean that. See, this could also mean that there are some things that you need to take, right? There's some thoughts, there are some ideas that you need to take in order to share with people, but there are some things that you don't. There's some things you need to still keep to yourself, you know? So while you might share, okay, with people, like what it is you're creating, what it is you're showing them, like I'm focused on this thing and I'm going forward with it and I'm creating it, okay? And I have that passion, I have that fire, I have that desire, I have that carrot in front of me that keeps driving me forward to create something beautiful and real, okay? But in order to manifest it, it doesn't mean you share every single tiny bit. Some things you have to keep back. I feel like for me personally, what I'm relating this to, sorry about this, what I'm relating this to is like, I get so excited to tell like all part of my story that I just want to just, like, if I could just do it all in one live stream, you know what I'm saying? I would, but it wouldn't get conveyed properly if I was doing it in that way. See, I had to stop, and Spirit and I, right? My guides and stuff, we had to break it up in these parts. All right. And as we're breaking it up in these parts, we're weaving it together in a way that I am not even, like, I was not even aware of what it is. Okay. But I keep going. I'm being driven to keep going. Okay. So I'm sharing some parts of it with you right now, but there are some parts that I still hold back on a little bit because that's meant for the later stream. So there are times, okay, when it is appropriate to hold back some of the finer details, all right, and to take with you moving forward, sharing with people some of it, though, not all of it, because even when it comes to manifesting, you know, just simple manifesting, let's say, okay, so you want to manifest something and you want to, you're going to set up, maybe let's say you're going to do it like me, right, and you're going to set up these confirmation things that you want, like a couple of them, because I need at least 3. My rule basically is at least 3, but you can do more, in order to confirm for yourself that you have manifested something, that you put out this request and God went ahead with it, right? Okay, you don't want to tell people those, you want to keep those things close to you until those confirmations come through, right? Like my keystone, right? I didn't want to tell people all of the confirmations that I put in place because I wasn't for sure on that. So you want to wait. You want to wait till appropriate time to where once that thing is manifested, then yes, then you can be free to do that. So anyway, as a collective, though, I would say keep working on what it is you're grounding yourself in. Okay, keep working on that world that you're creating. Follow the passion. Follow the things that get your heart excited. Okay. And keep some of it close to you. Don't you know, don't be oversharing, I guess I want to say with it. I don't know if it's not really oversharing though. It's not, it's a 7 of Swords. So it's like, because it also can mean someone lying to you, right? Like I'm trying to see, like, is that like Can we flip it in that way? For like, can I understand it in a way for another person where we're taking it? I just feel like no, I am. Okay. Okay. So they're drawing my attention to one more thing before we flip over to an oracle card here. They're drawing my attention to the swords on the back. Right? Like, I apologize, guys. I might just be pulling at things at this point now. I might have overcomplicated things here for myself because I just really like to be paying attention to where I see these symbols of. So the swords on the back there too, like it's a shield, like your back is guarded, so you don't have to worry about people talking bad, like the deceitfulness, people being deceitful behind your back. You don't really need to worry about it because you're protected. Actually, you actually are protected from being stabbed in the back. It's so random, but I don't know. I felt driven to go there with you guys. So anyway, that's the message for next week. Tarot energies. I love it. I love it. Okay. Oh, good. Matthew's agreeing with me on one of it. Okay. Hopefully. Oh, the cards are like what you're going through, Victor. Oh my God. You know, it's so crazy because it seems like every time I do these card pulls, right? Within a couple hours, it rolls through. The energies roll through for me within a couple hours, like almost every single time lately. And I'm just like, wow, like cards don't lie, man. That's why you're supposed to find your own tool of divination in order to help you, right? And in order to help guide you. It's just one more way for spirit to try and talk to you. And like I said in the past, spirit wants to talk to you. Your higher self wants that connection with you. It wants you to want to be with it. You know, it desires you. Okay, so we're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one oracle card, and then we're gonna head out for the night, guys. I messed up my ending last week. Oh, I was so mad at myself. I tried to like end it all like, oh my God, what is that? And like clicked end, and I'd be like looking at this thing, and like you'd be like, oh, what was it? What was it? You know, and I totally messed up. And I just looked at the screen. I was like, oh my God, fail. Well, whatever. You know, that's what I freaking do out here sometimes. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this oracle card. And then I will wish you all a very happy day after Thanksgiving and a great weekend. And a walk on into December, because apparently that's where we're at now. Apparently we're in December in a hot minute. We're going to blink. It's going to be fucking December. This year just flew by. I'm telling you. It's like, where did this year go? I don't know. I don't know where this year went. It's just the fastest year of my life. Okay. For the collective, what oracle card would spirit like? Yes, the collective to be made aware. Right. Yep, here we go. Boop, boop. All right. That's the oracle card that everyone needs to hear. This one. Did we got this one already? I'm sorry, guys. We're pulling another one. It says follow your dreams again. We got this one already. I'm sorry. That was like, wasn't that literally last week? I probably should. If I pull it again, then we'll know that it's the only one that works for us, right? Don't, Victor, what are you trying to start here? Trying to start something? You're going to get me going on another freaking episode? Because I will. Don't even tempt me with a good time. I will take it. Don't blink. That was a good one. It was. Oh my God. Okay. So one more time here. Wow. That was like an aggressive shuffle. Okay. One more time here. What does the collective need to know? Now in the future. Anyone watching. What's the best message for them all? Okay. Wow. Okay. We got quiet time. Look at that beautiful card. Let's see if we can look at it a little closer here. We got some mountain. Like, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of those Chinese paintings, the ink paintings. Have you ever seen those? They're amazing. Of the mountains. I studied the arts of Asia. It's one of my. It's some of my most beloved artwork for sure. It's ones that look like this. We got this fairy. So it's quiet time. She's in the forest. Yeah, this kind of reminds me actually of the scene I was trying to describe a little bit with Clifford Hootie when he came to visit me after he passed. Because I danced for him, at ESETI. I danced. And they were doing drums, a drumming circle, and I put my fairy cape on, and I don't know, I just came out of me naturally. And that's the other thing I've been doing, guys. I've been dancing, and I'm telling you, that's one of the ways I know that I'm in alignment, is that I naturally dance. I can't even stop myself. Literally danced almost all morning. I was baking Thanksgiving, just dancing, listening to music. Love it. So let's see. Okay, so the message for us here is quiet time. It says, you need some time alone, away from other people and environmental noises. Even a brief respite would be extremely rejuvenating for you. Sometimes we are not even cognizant of the detrimental impact of stress in our life. We become so accustomed to living in the uproar that we are not aware when our body is telling us that it's on overload. The symptoms include illness, unusual fatigue, depression or anxiety, appetite and weight issues, addictions, sleep disorders, irritability, and a desire to withdraw from life. By drawing this card, we are being asked to honor your body and soul by spending some quiet time alone as soon as possible. This might mean going to a silent retreat, spending a day at the lake, beach, or in the mountains, taking a hike, or visiting a day spa. You could even turn your phone off and put a do not disturb sign on your door and take an afternoon nap, a long bubble bath, or read your favorite book. Regardless of the form that your quiet time takes, the fairies just ask that you keep this promise to yourself without delay. Your affirmation is, I now give myself permission to be silent within and without. My mind is quiet and I enjoy my own company. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it is so important, truly. Spending time alone with yourself, even with your thoughts or in silence, you know what I'm saying? Silent meditations can be a really beneficial thing. I know I can tell when I get really irritable and edgy when I don't have proper alone time, or it's interrupted all the time. Like, that's really where I get my most cranky, is when I'm trying to focus on something. I'm trying to be that Queen of Pentacles, right? And my kids are coming in, they're stopping me like every 5 minutes, maybe even less than that, every 10 minutes, stopping. And it's like interrupting my train of thought. And I'm like, oh God, or you're just trying to listen to one song, right? Just one song. Let me feel one song all the way through, and it gets interrupted. And if a song gets interrupted in the middle of it, I'm sorry, you have to go back, you have to start over again. It's like, because I'm downloading songs, right? That's what it is. I'm like energetically downloading these songs in my body in a way. Memorizing them and every bit of them, Okay. So on that note, I definitely will be inviting Victor back along for any Doctor Who conversations, and of course Barry and anyone else that wants to come. But I do need to catch up on Tom Baker, Barry, if I'm going to have some decent back and forth here with the Doctor Who for you, because I feel like you didn't watch any of my Doctors and I haven't watched any of yours. So it's like, yeah, we know a little bit about these worlds, but they're not. We don't know how to bridge that connection, right? So. I am going to, my son Joshua loves the Tom Baker, so I'm going to try and give it a watch. That'll give me and him something to do, because I'm always looking for something special and specific to do with each and every one of my children, to have give them a one-on-one time, and that's one of the easiest ways to do that with my son Joshua, is we find a show that we like to watch together and we watch it. And I love my children. I love my children and their individual aspects of the individual beings of them. Wonderful. It can be really fun getting to know who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's what's so interesting about life, getting to know people for who they really are. I just read Victor's there. Victor's comment. So this is why he lives alone. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Goodbye, all. All right, bye, Dennis. All right. On that note, I'm about to head out. Oh wait. Oh man, Barry. Yeah, we're gonna talk more about Doctor Who, another one, or more about Star Trek stuff too. Let's see what he's writing. Okay. Jesse of the Daleks, Davros. Before the Time War began. Okay. Have a great weekend, Deborah. Good night. Star Trek is a wonderful one. Yes, definitely can get into that again. All right, on that note, I love you guys. Have a great weekend.